Hi guys, in our previous capsule we have discussed, that is capsule number 4, we have discussed the exemptions relating to the private companies, and now in this capsule we are going to discuss about the exemptions relating to the section 8 companies. Before going into the topic, we will know what is section 8 companies. The main objective of forming section 8 companies is non-profit, because they are for charitable purposes like arts, science, commerce. As we all know, these definitions have been given under our direct tax, income tax act, charitable purpose act, section 12, 11, 12a sections. And the profit derived from this is to promote the objects of this section 8 companies, and they are not allowed, they are prohibited to declare dividend to the members. As it is for charitable purposes, our government has given some exemptions to section 8 companies, that is, it is not required to comply the particular sections while doing its business activities. The main objective is charitable purposes, right? And going to our main topic, the main exemption given, coming to our 136.1. What is 136.1? Members have the right to get the financial statements and other documents like FSOD. Members have the right to get the financial statements and other documents before the AG, before the general meeting. Generally, within 21 days, they have to get the copies of the financial statement and other documents related to that particular year. If it is a section 8 company, there has been a relaxation given. For the votes, 21 days instead of 21 days, it is sufficient if the financial statement and other documents have been sent to the members 14 days prior to the general meeting. 14 days, right? That has been a relaxation given to the section 8 company. And going to our next section 149 subsection 1 and first provision of subsection 1. As we already discussed in our previous capsule videos relating to the government company, if any company has to appoint the directors more than 15, it has to pass special resolution. However, if it is a government company or section 8 company, such special resolution is not required, meaning it can appoint more than 15 directors, right? That has been already discussed in the previous capsule video. And government company and section 8 company is there here. Coming to our third point, 149.421 subsection 13. What is 149 subsection 42 subsection 13? Every point is related to the independent director. Wherever the independent director is there, section 8 company is not applicable, meaning the procedure mentioned in that particular section, section 8 company need not comply, right? And going to our next point, that is section 150. We have already discussed in the previous point, it is not applicable to the independent director. Since it is not applicable to the independent director, the database maintenance of independent directors also not applicable to the section 8 companies, right? Next, coming to our next point 5, section 152 subsection 5 proviso. What is 152 subsection 5 proviso? What is 152 subsection 5? We have already discussed in our previous capsule videos. 152 subsection 5 is whenever a director is appointed, before the director has to give his consent, his consent to the company, and the company in return files his director's consent to the ROC, right? Within 30 days it has to file. That point, sub proviso is there. In that point, for every independent director, if he is appointed, explanatory statement shall be attached to the notice of the general meeting. What notice? Explanatory statement that in the opinion of the board, that independent director has satisfied all the conditions as mentioned in section 149 subsection 4. He has the integrity, he has the trust, every point is satisfied. Board has to give the opinion. If that particular company is section 8 company, that explanatory statement is not required. Since, because we have discussed in the previous points, wherever independent director is there, section 8 company is not applicable. For section 8 company is not applicable, right? And going to our next 160 is relating to the regular director, meaning if I want to be director in the company, I have to apply to the company and I have to deposit some amount to the company, right? This 160 is applicable to the public companies mostly. We have already discussed in our previous capsule video, government company. If it is an entirely paid government company or subsidiary of the entirely paid government company, then 160 is not applicable. And also the private companies, that 160 is not applicable. Same, section 8 company is also not applicable pertaining to certain condition. One condition is there, then only it is not applicable to the section 8 company. What is the section 8? What is the condition? We'll see. Shall not apply to companies whose articles provide for election of directors by ballot. In our capsule 2 video, we have discussed what is postal ballot. You can check there. If the articles of the section 8 company has provides that the directors of the company shall be appointed by the ballot, postal ballot, then 162 is not applicable. And coming to our next point, that is 165 subsection 1. In 165 subsection 1, that is the point related to the maximum number of directorships, that is 20 directorships. There is a condition like max 10 public companies and remaining private companies. While calculating this 20 limit, 2 companies shall be excluded from the directorship, that is section 8 companies and section 455 companies, government companies. Only these 2 companies shall be excluded while calculating the number of directorships. And coming to our next point, that is 173 subsection 1. What is 173 subsection? Relating to the board of directors, board meetings, right? In that board meetings, there is one point like if it's a 1% company, small company, government company, then in every 6 calendar months, one board meeting is enough. The minimum time gap between the two board meetings will be 90 days, right? The same point is here in the Section 8 company, but that 90 days point is not applicable to this company. We will read shall apply only to the extent that the board of directors of such companies shall hold at least one meeting within the 6 calendar months, right? Coming to our next point, that is 174 subsection 1. 173 is related to the board meeting, 174 is related to the quorum constitution. We already know what is the quorum constitution limit, one third or two, whichever is higher, two directors, whichever is higher. There is relaxed provision coming to the Section 8 companies. If it is Section 8 company, the provision related to the quorum is a relaxed one. What is the relaxed one? The quorum shall be 8 or 25% of the total strength, whichever is lower, subject to the condition that minimum 2 directors shall be there, right? We just read that. For the votes, 1/3 of the total strength of the 2 directors, whichever is higher, the votes either 8 members or 25% of the total strength, whichever is less shall be substituted. The following provision shall be inserted, namely in case of Section 8 company, provided that the quorum shall not be less than two members. We should note that is given total strength, means all the directors who whether present or not in the board meeting, all the directors, right? All the directors have to consider. And coming to our next point, that is 177. 177 is relating to the audit committee. Minimum audit committee. In that audit committee, that is one condition will be there, right? Minimum there shall be majority independent director shall be there, right? In that case, if it is Section 8 company, since Section 8 companies independent directors provisions are not applicable, a point has been removed. That is, the courts with independent directors for majority shall be omitted, right? And coming to our section 178, nomination remuneration committee also shall not applicable. Same 149(4), 177, 178. All are the limit is applicability limit is same, and the same is not applicable to the Section 8 company, right? Coming to our next point 12, 179(3)(g)(e)(f). What is 179? Powers of the board. What is 179? The prescribed general powers of the board. 180 gives the restrictions, right? In 179, there are points G, E, F. Subsection 3, G, E, F is there. In that points, the points are relating to the investments, borrowing of funds, giving guarantees, giving securities. Those points are there. What is the points? LIGS and borrowing of funds. If it is related to these funds, the board meeting, board meeting shall be passed by circulation. We have already discussed in our previous video the points that the powers of the board relating mentioned in section 179(3) shall be passed at the board meeting only. For if it is Section 8 company, exception is given to the related 3 points. In case of Section 8 company, those may be decided by circulation, that is under 175 RBC resolution by circulation, it can be decided, right? And coming to our next point, 184(2). 184(2) is interested directors, right? Interested directors. 184(2) is related to the if any director is interested in the contract arrangement which is going to discuss in the board meeting, he shall intimate to the board that he is interested director and he is not going to attend that meeting, right? And if it is a Section 8 company, there is some limitation or exception given in this case. Shall apply only if the transaction with reference to Section 188 on the basis of the terms and conditions the contract arrangement exceeds 1 lakh rupees, right? If the contract or agreement if only exceeds 1 lakh rupees, then 184(2) is applicable. Otherwise, 184(2) is not applicable to the Section 8 companies. And coming to our next point, that is 186(7). What is 186? 185 and 186 twin sisters. 185 is loan to directors. 186 is loans, investments, guaranteed securities by the companies, right? In that, so many conditions will be there. We have already discussed in our video, previous capsule videos. That is 186 is related to the if 186 the board resolution shall be anonymous board resolution shall be passed, and approval shall be required. If it has committed any default pertaining to the loan or interest related to the public financial institutions, prior approval of the public financial institution is to be taken, and also the interest in the loan shall not be less than the government security yield, that is related to the 1 year, 3 year, 5 year or 10 years, whichever is near close to that tenure, right? In that point is 135 yield point is the right interest rate point, minimum interest rate point. It is not applicable to Section 8 company if it has satisfied this condition. We leave the condition. Provided that nothing contained in this subsection shall apply only to a company in which 26% or more of the paid up share capital is held by the central government or one or more state government or both in respect of loans provided by the such company or funding for industrial research development projects in furtherance objects as stated in the memorandum of association, right? If this condition is satisfied related to Section 8 company, then the minimum rate of interest, that is 1 year, 3 year government yield, it is not applicable to Section 8 company, right? And coming to our next point, 189, we have already discussed in our 184(2). The same point is there here. 189 is related to the register of contract arrangement which has directors are interested, that is related to Section 184 section. shall apply to section 8 company only if the transaction with reference to the section 8 188 basis the terms and conditions of the contract or exceeds 1 lakh. We have already discussed in 184 section 2. The same 1 lakh limit is here in 189 also. Coming to our last point, that is section 248 subsection 3. What is 248? 248 section is related to the removal of name of the company, right? In case if a company wants to remove, the register can remove if satisfies some condition. The business is not commenced 1 year, or the business is not commenced 2 years, and the application has not been filed according to section 45. Memorandum of association some points has not been satisfied. Physical verification has been done and has proved that business is not commenced, right? If those conditions are not satisfied, then ROC can remove the company name by giving notice. Right? Section that is 248 subsection 1. What is 248 subsection 2? If a company can apply for removal of name, if it has extinguished all his liabilities and the same has mentioned in 241 conditions, and also specialization is passed in the general meeting for removal of name, right? Those points is there. If that is a section 8 company, 248 subsection 2 is not applicable. That is, if it's a section 8 company, it cannot apply to the ROC to remove its name, right? That's it. And thank you for watching. Please subscribe for our more videos, and our next topic will be relating to the section 447, right? The next topic is related to the 447, in which we'll discuss the fraud relating penalty in the Entire Companies Act, which are 447 is applicable.